the love of HR. Hello, lovely people, and welcome back to For the Love of HR. I'm Richard. I hope you are all doing well, and thanks for joining me for this episode, which is focused on capability development. It would really help the channel if you could watch until the end, subscribe, like, and turn on that notification bell. Thank you so much. In episode 1, we introduced the HR accountability framework with its 26 sub-accountabilities across 4 big domains: HR business partner, HR functional partner, HR governance and performance excellence, and HR innovation and development. Over this series, we're diving into each one, and later I'll share practical models, tools, and templates you can use to become a stronger people practitioner. We will start by discussing the HR business partner sub-accountabilities, of which there are 5. These are those areas that HR partners with the founder, the owner, the senior leadership team. I consider these 5 to be critical to the success of any organization. Today we're discussing one of the most underestimated and under-prioritized accountabilities: capability development. This is about deliberately identifying, developing, and evolving the core organizational capabilities required to deliver the business strategy and future ambition. You will hear me say organizational ambition versus perhaps business growth. And I say that because many organizations are clearly not just focused on sales growth, for example, like non-for-profits. This is the single most critical accountability for future readiness. Let me share this very simple but effective framework, which I love, and I hope you will also. Organization ambition plus organization capability equals impact. Very simple. Organization results are directly constrained by capability. Ambition sets the target, but capability dictates how much of it can be achieved. Because whatever your organization's ambition, it's capability that decides the impact. No capability building, no sustainable success. When capability is weak, strategies stall. Growth slows, people disengage, and transformation can fail. But when it's strong, you unlock the capacity to scale, innovate, and sustain performance. Let's look at the consequences when capability development is weak, starting with business consequences. There are 5 key impacts, and you may recognize some of these in your organization. Market and investor confidence. When investors see a business stalling or drifting off course, like anyone, their confidence fails. That means reduced investment, missed opportunities, and growth strategies left unfunded. Strategy and growth are impacted. Capability gaps create strategic drift. You had very clear objectives, but without the right capabilities, scaling slows, growth caps, and strategies stall. Your ambition is defined by your capability ceiling. As you know, your customer and brand are sacrosanct. Customer delivery can suffer. Reputation you've built over years begins to erode. Experience declines, and execution at the front line starts to break down. Financial and competitive performance. The bottom line weakens. Margins erode, performance dips. Innovation is trapped, and worst of all, your best talent notices and joins competitors. Finally, operations. Time to market slows, scaling fails, global expansion stalls. Your operating model feels outdated and delivery breaks down. Do any of these business impacts resonate with you? Please share how the lack of organizational capability has affected your business. I'd love to hear your experiences. Now, I thought I would share some of my thoughts in HR related impacts, starting with leadership, culture, and change. When capability development is weak, change initiatives often fail. HR's credibility erodes because we're seen as responsible. Cultural drifts as new contexts take shape, and leadership confidence in HR and in the organization declines. One of the major impacts of lack of capability development is on talent and the workforce. The workforce feels it directly. High potential employees disengage because they can't see growth paths. Succession gaps widen. Workforce planning collapses. Attrition costs rise, and the employer brand suffers. Growth gets hit hard when talent isn't developed or retained. As always, our systems and process that we have in place are not as effective as they could be. Systems fail to deliver. Learning budgets get wasted in the wrong areas. Performance management focuses on the wrong outcomes. In global organizations, consistency breaks down because there are no embedded capabilities. The result is an increasingly inefficient operating model. These are the hidden costs of weak capability development inside HR. Have you seen them in your organization? What have you experienced? Drop a comment. I'd love to know which ones resonate with you the most. So what does capability development really look like? It's the bridge between aspiration and results. At level 1, the bridge is fragile, maybe even burning beneath your feet. It will carry you a short distance, but never safely or sustainably. At level 3, the bridge is stronger, solid enough to carry some weight, but not resilient enough for scale or transformation. At level 5, the bridge is a resilient suspension bridge, able to carry your people, processes, and ambition with confidence. The lesson: build the bridge your organization needs contextually and keep strengthening it as your maturity evolves. Very important point. Context is everything. You don't want to overbuild either. Okay, let's look at some of the misconceptions and what the reality might look like. Again, starting with the business misconceptions. First, value and investment. It's complicated, but with the right framework, it's simple. It's too expensive. The bigger cost actually is not doing it. Measurement is optional. Well, as we all know, what gets measured grows. Capability is optional. Capability drives growth. It's not optional. Capability is a cost. Actually, capability is a growth engine. Now let's look at ownership. Capability is HR's job. Well, the reality is it's everyone's job. Leaders already know how to do it. Well, leaders don't actually. They're not educated and they need tools and support. We can buy it later. Capability is best when it's built, not bought. Is secondary to operations. Capability powers operations. Final business misconception, of course, there may be many more. You can mention them in the comments. Final one, definition and timing. We're already capable. Capability must keep evolving as your business does. It's just training. Well, actually, it's much more than that. At a minimum, it's people, systems, and the culture. We can hire our way out. Best to build, not buy it. It's quick to fix. Actually, capability compounds over time. Technology equals capability. But actually, tools enable. People create capability. We can buy it when needed. Takes time to embed capability. So we need to do it internally. Capabilities are generic. Actually, they need to fit with your strategy. What misconceptions have you found in your business? Please share in the comments. Now let's turn to HR itself with ownership and role clarity. HR is trained in capability development. Well, actually, not typically. We need support also. HR people are not educated generally in this area. HR builds it on its own. Well, capability actually needs leadership ownership starting at the top. It's employee driven only, perhaps through the annual individual development plan. Well, it's a business leader driven activity starting at the top. Capability is a HR project. Capability is a business strategy. Capability lives in learning and development, L&D. Well, as I said earlier, it spans culture and systems and so much more than just learning. Next misconception is definition and approach. Capability equals training. Actually, we've mentioned it before, it's multi-dimensional. Training is just one element. Soft skills don't count, but actually soft skills drive performance, and in the future we'll define what capability means. Capability is static. Capabilities must continually adapt. More courses mean more capability. Actually, it's not about the courses, it is about what happens in the workplace. Practice builds capability. Why don't I just follow best practice, the old copy and paste method? Well, that's okay, but only if it fits with your context. Okay, very important we just don't copy and paste without connecting it to our context. And the final misconception group, measurement and value. Measurement is optional. Capability really needs to be tracked and can be. Capability is a cost. Capability actually is a growth investment. Outputs equal progress. Actually, outcomes prove capability. Capability can't be measured. It can absolutely be measured with the right metrics. So why spend time on these misconceptions? If we don't clear them, we won't get capability right. From confusion to clarity, from activity to impact. I know it sounds complicated. The reality is that it is not, if you have the right framework. We'll discuss that in the future. Our key responsibilities as HR professionals or senior leaders is to anticipate capability needs. We need to shape enterprise capability frameworks. It's critical to prioritize for strategic impact. As few as 4 core capabilities is a great start. Easy to say, difficult to do. You need to embed the capabilities into the system. And as always, we need to monitor and evolve capability maturity. There are so many ways to do this. We'll discuss it in the future. If you can map your critical capabilities, measure their maturity, and show how they drive strategy, you're building real capability. And remember, build the bridge, deliver with confidence. So here's my challenge to you for this week. Pick one of these questions and answer it for your organization. Which capabilities will make or break your ambition? And are they developing fast enough? If you looked at your core capabilities today, would they carry your strategy forward or hold it back? How strong is your organization's bridge between ambition and capability right now? Thank you for joining me on For the Love of HR. Remember, high impact HR comes from aligning purpose, ambition, and deliverables and building partnerships that grow organizations, teams, and people. If this helped, give the video a like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next episode. I'll see you in episode 4. Until then, take care.